Hi friends and viewers, and thank you for joining us again for our next episode on the video series on Portuguese citizenship through marriage or common law after 6 years. Again, my name is Cecilia.
I'm Shawn.
And today we are going to go over part 5, which is the criminal record check. The criminal record check that Shawn had to do in order to apply for the Portuguese citizenship application. So this one we had a couple of glitches, so we'll go through what mistakes we made so you don't make the same ones, and that way you don't have to redo the application that we had to do because of it.
And this is strictly doing this from Canada.
Yes, we don't know how other jurisdictions necessarily work. Hopefully you can copy what we do. If you're from British Columbia specifically, you can copy exactly what we do. If you're from Canada, pretty close, because it's still the same types of things. It's still the RCMP. If you're in a different country, of course, you'll have to consult your local police agencies to find out specifically what you need. But
Here we go.
the important thing to note is that when you go to do your record check, you have to do it from all the different jurisdictions where you've lived. So for us,
Since you're 19.
Since you're 19 years old.
Yeah.
So in our case, Shawn's only lived in British Columbia since he was 19 years old, so it's pretty simple able to apply for his criminal record check in our local municipality where we live because we have RCMP.
Right. I had heard that in Calgary, you weren't able to go to Calgary police because they're not in charge of the CPIC. You have to travel out of town. Calgary PD, you can't go to them to do it because their CPIC's done by the RCMP, and they had to travel out of town. I think it was as far as Lethbridge to find the local RCMP. Right. It has to be done by the RCMP. They're the ones that are in charge of the CPIC.
So that's the first thing you have to know, is that we found out that you have to do it basically at the for the RCMP. That's the version that they want to see at the consulate in Vancouver. It costs $25 Canadian to get that record check done.
So I had to make an appointment. Okay. I went down, I got fingerprinted, and I had to give, of course, my name and my date of birth. And then that was it. They sent it all off.
Photograph?
Oh, yeah, a photograph. And they sent it all off. And then when a couple weeks later, I got it back, and it was the wrong one. Because when we looked at the form, it said visa or the other section, which I can't remember what it was.
Something just like a criminal record.
And we thought, oh, it's not a visa. I'm not applying for a visa. I'm a Canadian citizen, so that's not what I want. That is actually what you want. Even though I am Canadian in Canada, I want to tick visa because the actual printout is of my fingerprints with my picture. The other way was just a note saying, no criminal record. And that's not good enough.
Right. And on the Facebook page that's linked to this YouTube video, I've got an actual sample of not only the one that we were sent from the consulate in Vancouver asking for it to look a certain way, but we also, I've also put on there Shawn's actual printout that he got back, and I've just blacked out the important file number and name and all that stuff on there. And basically, so that you know the application type, it says right on here, visa / border crossing / foreign travel / work. That's the one you want. So the box that you have to tick when you go to the RCMP office is that one. So we, unfortunately, it came back to us. It didn't look right. I could tell it wasn't the right one. It needs to have fingerprint, it has a thumbprint, right thumbprint and left thumbprint on the actual document, and I can kind of show it, even though I don't know if you can see it from there. It'll be on the Facebook page, but it's got the right thumbprint, right index finger, left thumbprint, and left index finger, and in the center is the photograph of the person. So if yours doesn't have those fingerprints plus the photograph, it's not the correct one.
You'll get the right one if you make sure it's the visa.
That's it.
Border crossing one.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
So I went back, they did it again, they resent it, and I got it back a couple weeks later, the right one. Done.
Yeah. The other important thing to note, so a lot of people have been asking me about the record check itself. What if they've had a criminal conviction? So we we don't have that problem. Shawn's never been arrested for anything, and especially not convicted of anything. So we didn't have to worry about that. For us, it was
Not
just
even investigated. Let's just put
not
that
even
in.
investigated.
Not investigated, not charged, and not convicted. Anything.
He's a good kid. So because of that, we weren't worried about that particular thing for
Some
our,
of you might have to worry about
But
that, but we can't advise you on how that's going to go.
But I can say that on the application form itself, it does specify that you will if you have a conviction for something, that if the offense was committed in Portugal, you could get 3 years or more in prison. That's when there's going to be a hiccup. So if you've committed an offense where it doesn't equate to Portuguese law at all, the offense is, for example, a Canadian offense that doesn't equate to any offense in Portugal at all, you're probably going to be fine. If you've committed an offense and have a conviction, for example, for assault, I had a specific question about that one, so I did look that one up, and I did find that the Portuguese law, dealing with domestic violence, for an example, you can get over 3 years in prison for that. So because you can get over 3 years in prison, that could be the hiccup that you come across. So because of that, you may have to apply for some type of pardon. We don't know.
No, we don't even want to really get into it.
We don't know how that all works because we didn't have to go to those lengths. If you do have that issue, you may have to find out from the government of Portugal what they require to overcome that inadmissibility to apply.
But that's it, really.
This is a quick one.
Yeah.
That was
What's
it.
the next one?
The next one is part 6, and we are going, the application itself and how to fill it out, and all the different spots that you have to fill out. Your name, your parents, all that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to try and do it a bit differently where you actually can see it on the computer while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're going to mess around a bit more with the camera whole thing. We're trying out a new sound system right now with the camera, and hopefully that works.
Hopefully you can hear us better. I had to purchase this microphone because the microphone we had before did not work with the camera properly, so I'm hoping you can all hear us very clearly this time. I had a couple of people complaining that they couldn't hear very well in the last video, so I'm really hopeful that it worked this time. And that's about it. One last thing before we leave. Those of you that know anything about the Azores, which is where my family comes from, in Portugal, our next door neighbor painted this for me for a Mother's Day gift. Shawn commissioned him to do it. And there's Pico Mountain, and we have a property over there that we're going to build a house on. And this is I'm going to move a simulated house. There's no house on the property just yet, so this is what potentially a house on the property would look like. The driveway coming in and our beloved Pico Mountain. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. And that's about it. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time on part 6, the application filling out part.
And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, click on that little bell.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah. I don't know.
See you next time. Bye.